Hey fellow tree enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please consider liking and subscribing. Today, we're going to be working on gear inspection and replacing parts on a singing tree rope runner. Okay, so we have a singing tree rope runner here. This is one of my favorite things to climb on, but there's a couple things that you need to watch while you're climbing on this, and one of them is there's a spring in here that makes sure that this comes up and engages the rope, and it's held in place by a small screw right here. You want to always inspect and make sure that the spring is in good condition, it's not going to break, and that this screw is firmly seated, because if this does not spring this piece up and engage the rope, you can go sliding uncontrollably down the rope. It won't engage, it'll just let you free fall. So that's the main thing to watch on here. Second thing is wear points. So after you've climbed on it for a while, you'll start to notice some wear down in here, and you can take and rotate this, but I've already done so, and I've worn on this side and this side and this side, and it's to a point where I need to rebuild it. The other one that gets worn is down in here, and you can see I've done the same thing. I've rotated this one. It's worn here, it's worn up here. You probably can't see that on camera, but it's got some wear down in here. What happens is the rope goes between here and it gets pinched, so the friction gets created right here and it just wears that piece down eventually. So we're going to replace this piece, we're going to replace this piece, and then this pin takes just a little bit of wear. This pin isn't really ready to be replaced yet, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how you would replace it if you needed to. I've got all the parts here. You can buy these rebuild kits from Tree Stuff. That's where I got mine. Anyway, it comes with the piece you need here, the piece you need here, the pin, and the nuts to do the rebuild. So as you can see, I have a 14 wrench here, and it's pretty straightforward. Just gonna loosen these up. This pin just has pieces that you push down, and it has two of them, so that it acts like a double lock. That way you can't accidentally run it out while you're up in the tree and have a problem. Now you don't have to replace this in here, but to be able to free this piece from being captured, you're going to have to loosen one of these. And now I've got that piece free. Now that I've got this piece out, you can probably see the wear marks that I'm talking about from having rotated this piece. But it's just gotten to the point where it needs replaced. So we're going to take a new one, place it in there, Tighten this one back down. Make sure this side's tight as well. It is. And then we can simply I should probably use the new ones, huh? And then we can simply put the new nuts on there. And tighten them down. Now the same thing is going to happen. So you're going to go ahead and take this pin out here. I'm going to drop this piece away. And that other one that needs replaced is right here. So you're going to have to do the same process. You're going to have to loosen these. And then you're going to have to take one side loose so that you can get this out and replace the other one. I forgot to mention there is a small difference between these. So the one that goes in the top has a square end because it's adjustable. You can slide it in the slot. There's a slot right here, and you can slide that to adjust the friction. You can move it one way or the other. And so that square end sits in there. This one that we're replacing with this one does not have a square end. It's just round. So you want to make sure that you get the right part in the right place. But I've taken this apart. This is also a good time, if you want to, you can inspect in here. You can make sure that there's no abnormal wear in there. But everything looks good, so we're going to put this back together. This little keeper just goes on right here. Hold your pen from falling when you take it apart. If you're up in the tree, helps retain it. And we'll just go ahead and tighten these down. This one, on a new one, I generally run it wide open. As this wears down, or if you were using a really thin rope, you might want to slide it, a little bit further this way, a little bit closer to this pin. But for me, I generally run it, pretty wide open. Seems to work for the ropes I climb on. Generally like a Samson or a poison ivy type rope. So anyway, I want to put this back together. I guess I can show you this piece obviously had some good wear on it too, so that's why we're replacing it. I will mention one more point of wear is right through here. This piece sits here like this, and then the rope runs through right there, so that creates wear back here. But we're not replacing that piece yet on this one. You can buy that piece as well, but that doesn't need done as often as those pins. I've already replaced this set of pins once, so this is the second time, and probably halfway through, or maybe once these pins are wore, I'll need to replace this piece as well. And as all tree guys do, guess what I've got? I've got a brand new one in the box that I've had squirreled away for a couple years. I'll have to break that out before too long. This is my third one. I've got a blue one, a red one, and then this other kind of blue. But that's what I run on most of the time. I can run it with a stationary rope or a moving rope system, and it works well either way. So I really enjoy not having to swap out my hardware. I can just go through the tree and climb as needed. Okay guys, that's how you inspect and replace parts on the Singing Tree rope runner. I hope you found this useful. I'm going to drop a link in the description below for the parts kit, and also a link to get the rope runner if you're curious about that. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, climb safe.